All the blues are trying to do is score in the mini goal. If the yellows win it, they're trying to score in the other mini goal. For this practice though, remember we're looking at the other player covering. Hi, I'm Todd and I'm the Regional Coach Development Officer for the East. This is a 6-week programme focusing on defending to stop goals. The main focuses of this will be pressing and covering. This is week 5 of the 6-week session programme. So this is week 5 and we're going to go back to a game Piggy in the middle. So it's going to be the same setup again, but for this example I'm going to add in extra players, but you can still do this with 2 in each zone, but for this example I'm going to use 3 players in each. Same game again, the blues are trying to transfer the ball to the end zone and the middle players are the defenders. However, for this practice here, we're going to allow one player to drive into the middle to transfer the ball across. So what we're looking at is now with a player with the ball trying to engage the player to go press. So revisiting from last week, that decision of whether to press or hold. So they now have decisions on, do they hold here or as it goes across and they travel to go and engage. For this week, we're going to really look at now the cover and support from the teammates. So as the ball goes across here and the blue decides I'm going to drive across the line, we need to make sure obviously the player goes to press and engage. And what we're now looking at from these 2 players here is that cover to try and protect the middle and to stop the ball going through. So hopefully from here, if the player can't beat them, they're going to hopefully go back and they can reset their shape. Also, another example might be as well, if they go and engage and they come and cover and that balance from here. So what we don't want to see is the player too far from here, because as it might happen, there might be a split pass, or if the player does beat them, there's no one there to support their teammate. So we're now going to move into a game called supporting on the line. And how it's going to be set up, it's going to be small squares, but make them a little bit wider, and you're going to have 2 mini goals. At the end, if you haven't got mini goals, it's fine. You can just get the players to transfer the ball across the line, and you're going to have some lines going across as reference points. For this example here, we're going to do 2v2s, a really simple game. So the blues are the attackers here, the yellows are the defenders. All the blues are trying to do is score in the mini goal. If the yellows win it, they're trying to score in the other mini goal. So the main emphasis of this session is we're looking at our teammate covering. So what we want from here is one player looking to press and the other teammate is going to be covering and has to get to the line. So now we're trying to get our players to use the lines as references to then cover. So for this example here, the ball's with this player here, the nearest player goes to press, and this player here will then get to the line to cover. Now we also want to make sure when they are covering, they're still protecting the goal. They're not being drawn out here because we've still got those gaps. So they're using that line as a cover. As the ball transfers across, for example, this player is probably the nearest player, so we'll go and engage, and the other teammate will then drop back to the line. So now what we're looking at is we're trying to emphasize that movement of one goes to press, one goes to cover. Another example might be, as the player goes to press, the other teammate is covering. As the ball goes across, for this example here, the attacker might make a decision to actually go and engage and press this defender. The player then goes to cover, and now we've trapped the attacker into an area and into a space. So a progression from this game is now going to be a 4v4. So in the 4v4 game, for this example here, we're still using the lines as references. So the nearest player will go and engage and press. The other player will then come and cover and use the line as that reference point. Remember, we want to make sure they still protect the goal as well. We don't want to obviously create gaps from here. That could be one example. As the ball travels across, the player then goes to press, the other yellow then comes to cover. Another example here, which we've touched on, ball might come across, the yellow might decide I'm going to keep going and keep pressing, and the yellow still covers and we trap that player in that area. You can do this session where they're locked in, as we've spoken about, so you could have a 4v4 locked in, or you could go the team in possession, can go anywhere, the team out of possession are locked in, and then from there you can then take the restrictions away and then see how your players react and engage, but still keep those lines as references so your players have something to refer to. In terms of what we're looking for a match day from these sessions is we're looking for our teammates to now look at supporting and covering when that player goes to press and engage.